Hi guys, we're going to make a very easy and elegant 5x7 wedding card. This is a new die release called the Timeless 5x7 card front etch dies. These came from Spellbinders. These are part of the May release. May look again, perfect name, timeless, elegant. I love that it's 5x7. However, there is another option. If you don't want to do 5x7, you can take this outer portion off and you can purchase some different dies. They have the duo corner etch dies, timeless duo etch dies, and you can leave the center in and you can do these corners. And you can do, well, there are two different corners here. This one's more square, this one's more rounded. And you can do, you know, your 5.5 by 4 1/4. However, I think when people are making more traditional cards, they want to be 5x7. So there are these corner options. If you don't want to do, you can purchase these corner options and do a smaller size card if you don't want to do a larger card. There is also this Timeless Hearts border etch die that you can do, you know, and make it any size you want. You can use this, you know, horizontally. You can do it vertically, and then it does have the dies to cut it out. So there are a couple different pieces to this if you want to purchase different options to it. I like it because it does remind me of a certain person who I bought a lot of her stationery, initials AG, a lot of her dies and a lot of her stationery, and I made a lot of things with her stuff. You know, she's frequently on, what is it, HSN or QVC, whatever it is. But so to see this come from Spellbinders made me very happy. And I have, you know, some graduation cards coming up. So I thought these would be perfect to make some graduation cards. Now, there are some better press. You were wondering, what is this small circle for? There was better press plates which were released. They sold out very quickly. These little sentiments that go in the center, and they fit perfectly in there. It says, thanks for everything. The best is yet to come. Always, it was always you. Thinking of you always, trying to read this backwards, with sincere sympathy, sending you congrats, I think is what that one says. Happy birthday to you and best wishes. This one has sold out already. It's sold out very quickly. It's called Always You, Timeless Sentiments Press Plates. It's BP 185. That one has sold out, but you can see how small they are. They fit in there perfectly. That one sold out. You can put yourself on the wish list for that to come back in stock. However, there are larger ones which you can take, again, this centerpiece out. And these are dies. These are not press plates. These are dies. Dies are gold in color, copper in color. Press plates are silver in color. Okay, so these cut. These do not press. These are press plates or foil, whatever you want to do with these. You can press or foil them. These say, just wanted to say thanks. I think you are pretty great. Congratulations to you. Your kindness means everything. Best wishes today and always. Your friendship means the world. Here's to... I cannot read that. I will have to press that one out. Here's to something beginnings and happy ever after. I'll have to look that one up. But these are still available. These are called New Beginnings Timeless Sentiments press plates. This one, as of filming, is still available. The other one, and these I'm assuming are your interior sentiments. Like I said, these were much smaller. These fit on the outside. So you could still use these, but a lot of flexibility. So let's get into it. So I'm going to recommend a set of papers here. If you're going to do any kind of wedding cards or anything. Another press plate I'm going to recommend, if you have not looked into these, are the Scribe Plus press plates. This Congratulations would also be another beautiful. It's very large, and I think if you put this on the outside of the card, it would look beautiful with this as well. Is the brush cardstock. So right now there are 4 colors of brush cardstock. There is silver brush cardstock, gold brush cardstock, black and white brush cardstock. Now this is a metallic brush cardstock, but it's very thick. It's very elegant. It's not shiny like the foil cardstock, and it's not glitter. Okay, so it's a metallic cardstock, but it's very elegant looking, and I think this looks really good. And I think I'll do this card in probably just a black and white, very elegant looking. I also am going to recommend the white liner sheets because these are very delicate and very fine when you are die cutting these. So you want to make sure that when it comes to adhesive that you're not using glue, because glue can seep out. So I'm going to recommend that when you die cut, that you put a piece of this liner sheet behind your paper when you're die cutting so that all of this is going to adhere properly, and it's just going to look good. And I'm actually going to end up making 2 cards. I'm going to make a wedding card, and then I'm going to make a graduation card. And my son's graduation school colors are red and silver, so I thought, okay, we'll make I'll just make a generic wedding card. I'll have a wedding card available, but I'll make a smaller card showing those other dies. We'll make a 5.5 by 4.25 graduation card, bringing in some of those other die pieces so you can see how this can still look good. We'll bring it in a little bit smaller size and show that. Okay, so let's stop talking, Nance, and get to the card making. Okay, so first things first, we need a card base. So 5x7 card base. How do we do that? What am I going to use? Well, I'm going to use the Spellbinders Better Press cardstock. This is a nice hefty cardstock. It's 118 pounds. So how do we make a 5x7 card? So that's pretty easy to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our Spellbinders trimmer, and we want this to be 10 inches. Bring my little arm out. So we're going to cut this at 10 inches. This is going to be my card base. So 10 inches and 7. So 10 by 7. And we're going to score it at 5. You need to keep these little strips because we can use these for sentiments. So now we're going to score it at 5. So now this is our pretty heavy card base. So we have a 5x7 card base, right? Pretty hefty card. Now we want to die cut some paper. So again, I'm thinking a black and white card, right? So what elements do I want in black? What elements do I want in white? So I think all of the detailed pieces I want in black, and the background elements I want in white. So this would be my background. I want this in white. I want this in black. I want this in black. I want that in black. That means those are all in black. And then I want these in white. So these are all going to be cut in white brush cardstock. And these are going to be cut in black cardstock. So then I need to make sure that my cardstock is big enough. So basically a half sheet of each. And you don't want to skimp when you are doing a wedding card. practice on a scrap. Make a mock-up. Always make a mock-up on scrap piece of paper. Use scrap piece of paper first. You know, make a mock-up. You don't want to use your good piece of paper. When you're making a wedding card, the last thing you want is to get out your good paper, make somebody a nice wedding card, and then you mess up because you're going to use good paper. You want to make sure you're doing it right, okay? So I'm going to use a half a sheet for both of these. And then, like I said, you want to use the liner or some kind of double adhesive liner, okay? So what this liner sheets do is they make it so much easier when you are gluing things together. So double adhesive sheets. Obviously, I have not made this yet, so I am going to use good paper and cross my fingers that I do not mess things up. So I'm going to start with the black, and I'm going to remove, this is double-sided adhesive, so I'm going to remove one side of the liner. Doesn't really matter which side. Now, this brushed cardstock is kind of metallic on both sides. So you just want to make sure that there's no scratches or mars or, you know, bent corners or anything. You always want to make sure you look that over. Because once I stick this down, the sticky side will then be the back side. And I do kind of want to make sure that I put that down as straight as possible. This is going to be super sticky. All right, and then we're going to put our dies down, trying to use as much real estate as I can with the black when I cut this. So everything is going to get cut out here is going to be cut out in black. So let's start with this first. And I'm not cutting out any extra sentiments or anything here, so I'm okay with this. I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. And if you're going to, you know, die cut, you want to make sure that everything is taped in place. We're not moving anything. We don't want to have any mistakes when we're using our good paper. And since we are cutting through fairly thick paper and through adhesive, I want to make sure that I run this through probably a couple of times. Because we want to make sure it cuts all the way through. And again, just eyeballing that everything is lined up on the paper. a pretty decent cut there. All right, so I'm going to move that aside. Now, for the white one, it's going to be a little different. Now, here's why. Let's put our adhesive on. Same process for the adhesive. However, okay, you can't just line this frame die up and then put these in there and cut in the middle. Remember, this is our focal point. So if I start cutting things out the middle, I've just destroyed this paper. So I need to cut this out first. That is where everything's going to layer on top of. So I actually need another piece of white cardstock. I probably didn't even need to put that adhesive on that, honestly, but that's okay. That's so thick it didn't cut all the way through. I'm gonna line that back up. It is super thick when you add that adhesive plus the liner. I need to run that through again. I cut through the cardstock. All right, so now I just need another piece, a small piece of the white cardstock to cut the center and that sentiment out. I'm going to save that because, oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, I'm going to probably better press the sentiment out of the center, so I can wait to do that, and I'll wait to do this piece. So I will wait to do those two pieces until I do the sentiment. But you get what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to cut this out of here because this is your background piece. Get it? Okay. I think you get it. And I may do that congratulations as my center. I was thinking of doing this as my better press center. So I may not do that. I may not do this as my center anyway. So let's hold off on that. The other thing you can do at this point is run this through an embossing folder. If you really want to elevate this and make it stand out, run this piece through an embossing folder before you attach it to your card base. Which I'm not going to do, but if you really wanted to kind of step it up, run that through your embossing folder and make that stand out. So now we have our better press piece, which is our card base. We have our brushed white card stock, which again, you can see how it has that shimmer pearlescent card stock, which is sticky. Okay. on here perfect. And it does. And now these should lift off pretty perfectly, and these will be adhesived already. Sticky already. Adhesive backed, I guess is the correct term. And you just have to be careful, and you're going to want to weed out these center pieces. Because again, this is very delicate. That's what makes this elegant and timeless, because it's so delicate. And that's why you want that adhesive on there, because if you die cut this out of regular paper, you don't have that adhesive on there, then you have to try to put glue on this, and you take the chance of the glue oozing out everywhere, which is never going to be pretty. And if you try to do this with foil card, it's definitely not going to be pretty. If you use regular cardstock, it's going to be very delicate and it's going to rip. So using adhesive backing, number one, makes the gluing part easy, but number two, it gives you a little bit more stabilizer. I promise you it's going to be worth it. Just take your time doing this part here, which is the weeding, which is just pulling out those center pieces. Why did that pop out? That shouldn't have done that. I must have pressed on something. I definitely pressed on something. What did I press on is the question. I don't know. So in case you didn't know, this opens up. There is a weeding tool in here. And you can change out what's in here. And I think you just press this down, push this in. There's a little button there that you can lock this in. There we go. We should be good to go now. Right? Yeah. Come on. All right, so basically you pull out all of the pieces that you don't want left. That's what weeding is you discard the pieces you don't want. See, they will come out as long as you die cut it through. And the nice pieces should be left behind. Poke this down more. All right, so I'm going to weed these pieces out. And I will come back. I'm not going to make you guys watch that. Okay, guys. So I did end up getting the two edges weeded. But the more I thought about it, the more I want to use this Congratulations press plate in the center. And I think I want to use silver metallic ink. So I have a half sheet of Better Press paper. And yes, I'm going to end up covering up that white brush cardstock anyway, but that's okay, because I wouldn't if I wasn't going to use the press plate, but I do want to use the press plate. So we're going to line that up. I'm going to use my silver metallic ink that I have, which use what you have. This one might be a little too light. Use whatever you have. I'm going to try this. If it's too light, I'll switch to a different color. Actually looks pretty good. Ooh. Okay, it's actually okay. We're gonna go with it. So now we need to die cut this with that frame die cut. I always forget it's thicker, so I have to cut it twice. There we go. Try to kind of layer it on there straight. I think I'll save that card base for another card. I'll make another card base out of this brush black cardstock so it doesn't go to waste. Again, cutting it at 10 by 7. Scoring it at 5. I could use this as a graduation card too. Like I said, the class colors are silver and red. So I could definitely get away with using this. And let's face it, all these kids are going to do is shake the card and wait for the money to fall out. There we go. And I think I'll add some gems and pearls to it. Said that's just one example. I do plan on doing another one, making a smaller version. And this one's not as detailed as it could be, but you can see how many possibilities there are doing this with the detail. Hopefully I gave you some tips and tricks along the way. I think this is going to make a lot of elegant wedding cards for you guys, or congratulations cards. Just perfect name for it with the timeless 5x7 card front etch. Again, you get the outline, you get the two borders, you're going to get the center piece, you're going to get the center oval, you're going to get the smaller piece. If you are into better press, there is the perfect sentiments that will fit into the center. Again, you don't have to use all of those pieces. Do recommend the brush cardstock. We have the white, the black, the silver, the gold. It's going to go perfectly with that. The gems and things like that. You guys all that are jumping on better press, you can do better press, you can do glimmer. So many possibilities with this, not just for weddings and graduation, but the holidays that are coming up. This is going to make a beautiful holiday card as well. Just all kinds of different possibilities with this. So go check it out. I will put the links down below for you guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them down below. If you had fun watching me make this, again, it wasn't very difficult. The longest part was just doing the weeding, but you can see how beautiful and elegant this is going to come out. And with that better press, I know it's hard for you guys to see, but that metallic ink is silver and it's pressed into the card. I probably could have brought it down and lined it up a little better, but just trying to do this kind of quickly in a hurry, I didn't actually measure that out. But lots of possibilities with this timeless collection, and I will do another card with these doing a little bit smaller size. So if you're not into the 5x7, of course, I think when you're doing these elegant cards, 5x7 is probably a better fit, but I will do it using these other ones, doing a little bit traditional 5.5 by 4.25 A2 size. So if you had fun, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.